Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fricken Dad podcast.
The only podcast brought to you on CP time.
Period. I think you should try your Trump impression anyways, honestly.
Yeah. You know what? The last time I tried it, it really sounded like me doing an impression of Trevor Noah doing an impression of Trump. You wish the best. It's the greatest thing. It's going to be fabulous. You got to do your lips like that. It's going to be fabulous. They're going to love it. They're going to love it. No? It needs work.
No, yeah. Next time.
Yeah, give me some time.
I don't even know where to start. Where are we going, Dad? What's happening? No, you know where I am gonna start? No,
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I am gonna start? Is it Mercury retrograde? Do you know?
Oh, hell. You know I don't goddamn know nothing like that.
Well, we need to figure the fuck out because
Oh, hell.
motherfuckers is spinning back and I really don't appreciate it.
Oh, goodness.
So
I think it's a summertime thing.
Do you think so?
Yes, ma'am.
Cause why did my ex unblock me? I didn't like that at all. He hasn't said anything, but I'm unblocked. At least on Instagram. I'm not on my phone number or anything, but anyways, whatever. He unblocked me, right? And then. So, you follow my Instagram, you know, you've been seeing my little soft launch, right? with the boo, whatever.
Yeah.
The little hints and tidbits and whatever, right? The other day when I posted my first one on like the public story where I posted little margarita and his hand was in the back, you know, that was really to tell all the men in the DMs like to get out, you know, to leave me be. I don't want to talk to you, whatever. So remember, so all the listeners, they remember too. Couple episodes ago, the guy that I went to his parties, the customer,
Yes.
one who I sent you and whatever.
Yes.
Haven't talked to this man in months, like literally months. Why the day after I post that margarita photo, he DMs me. Do y'all know? Like, can you feel it? Is it a tingle? Cause I wanted you for months. For months. Gave you my number in October. Please make it make sense, Dad.
I got nothing for you.
Well, I need something because it doesn't make no motherfucking sense. Out here liking my story, being the first one to view it, DMing me, heart eyes, fire emojis. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Oh, Lord. Okay. Are we into the episode now, or are we having therapy time with the sugar bear?
Both. Mix it both. You know. Cause I don't know. I feel like that segues into pretty privilege a little bit, right? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Might be a stretch.
Well, he said I was too young, and not the drink. I've been
sorry.
drinking.
Sorry. This episode might require a beer.
But yeah, so that shit is crazy to me. But I guess we can get into the episode if you would like. Yeah.
Well, you were going in a direction though. You said something about being too young, and then you switched.
Oh yeah.
gears.
Okay. So segue. He said I was too young, but obviously I'm so cute, which is why he DM'd. Which is why he DM'd me, and now we're into pretty privilege. Period. Because I feel like ever since I've been in Atlanta, I've really been using it to my advantage. Really, just been using my powers for good. For good.
I was just about to say.
For good. For good.
What have I always told you?
I don't know.
Do not use your powers for evil.
Have you told me that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're the same person to tell me everything's illegal till you get caught. So I really don't know
Yeah.
you've told me that.
I've told you that.
I don't know. I don't recall that one.
I'm deep. I have many facets.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've just been using it.
Yeah, it's a confidence thing.
I was gonna say, like, part of my thing was that I feel like pretty privilege also requires work. not like work necessarily on your looks, but I feel like you got to meet these people that you're using or whatever, like in a halfway point.
Tell me more.
Well, because I was thinking about it, and like, because I was going through, I had my little handy dandy notebook. When I was going through, let me mute my phone before someone texts me. I was like going through my like list of like different scenarios or whatever that I've been using it since I've been here, and I feel like if I wasn't nice to these people, also though, I wouldn't have gotten like what I did. I guess. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like you have to meet them halfway. Actually, maybe it depends on the person. Because some people really just be seeming like bitches and they still get whatever the fuck they want. So.
Yeah, I can't really explain that one. I do feel you get further if you, maybe humble's the word, I think. Because you can be pretty and not have to, like, flaunt that you know you're pretty. Right? And there's those that really like to put it in your face and let you know that they're pretty.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm like more humble. Like I don't do a lot of these things on purpose, but then once I realize it's happening, I'm like, okay, let me milk the money at this. You know, let me make the most out of what's happening right now. Because like the thing that made me think of this episode when I had originally texted you, like when I was talking about how we were going to do this episode. So basically, I was at the bando, right? And this also kind of segues from the last episode that we just did. If you guys didn't listen, go ahead and go listen. Where I had said that like the pretty privilege has got me like networking opportunities. I was at the bando and security guard, which funny, he might be listening to this podcast. Hey.
What up, man?
But he, whoa. Was at the bando, was just chilling by myself, whatever, like had ordered, sitting there waiting for my food. He was looking at me. I could see he was looking at me. I looked at him like kind of on accident because I didn't really want to look at him, but like I had gone up. He called me over there, so I went over to him and I was like, hey, like what's up? And he was like, oh, what's up? Like we ended up having a conversation. I don't really remember what completely, but he would like ask me where I was from, how the weather was, like just small talk, weird shit, I don't know. But then I ended up getting his number. And turns out that, like, this security thing that he does for the bando is, like, his little side thing. And he's really... So he went to school for audio engineering. So he does producing and, like, soundboard stuff at some, like, big recording thing, whatever. And I don't remember where specifically, but something. And then I was like, oh, interesting, like I have a podcast. And he was like, yeah, we have podcast studios, like whenever you want to come out, you'll have to hit me up. All right. See, now I got the homie hookup. Because he did say too, he was like, he said that he mentioned a couple of like bigger name people who go in there and like record stuff. And he was like, yeah, we have like a whole bunch of like people who come in and do like music or podcasts or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so networking. Woo, connections.
It has to be easier to be pretty versus, and this is gonna sound so jacked up. Sorry, Potiverse or however that works.
What?
But I was apologizing to the peoples.
The Potiverse? All right. Anyways, go on with your apology. That shit was crazy. Potiverse is actually wild. I'm not gonna hold you.
Trademark that quick because people done heard it now. It's gonna be everybody talking about the Potiverse. All right, watch what I tell you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but it has to be easier to be attractive versus unattractive. Even an unattractive person with a great personality it's going to be slower for them to get where they need to go, just because people are going to be less likely to put a hand out. That's just an opinion. I don't know that to be true, but.
Do you think you have pretty privilege? Do guys get pretty privilege? Is that a thing?
I don't know if we get pretty privilege. Yeah, I don't know that that's a thing. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think that I'm an unattractive man, but I can't think of any time. But I'm also half-ass charming, so I'd be talking and whatnot. So
right, don't hype yourself up.
I said half-ass.
I think that's also part of it for me too, because I know I be cracking jokes. People be getting a kick out of me.
Right.
So
and then just after that, then they're like, you can make people laugh. Sometimes it doesn't matter. You could be unattractive and they look past it.
Yeah, me and my friends, we always say, well, if one thing about us, we can giggle and get out their draws.
Oh shit! Lord help me. This episode was a bad idea.
But it's funny. It's fun. I don't know. Like I just.
You're coming into your little bit of womanhood, I guess, is what's happening.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Is it?
As far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. I feel like it's really been benefiting me. Like I was at the Masego concert, and I was in the back. See, and this is where my jokes come in. I was in the back, right? Because I'm short and can't see and whatever. So I was in the back of the concert, and I was sitting there by myself, and something about the security guards. I don't know. These security guards really like me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just thought about that. Like 4 of my little bullet points had to do with the security guard. But he like had walked past me a couple times, ended up coming up next to me and said something like, "Oh, because I wasn't smiling." Because I just I one thing. Ugh, I hate when men tell me to smile. I don't know.
All women hate that.
It's like, well, can I just have a resting face for a second? I don't know. Like, just leave me be. But he had come up and said something about me not smiling, and I was like, well, I'm back here standing behind white people with no rhythm, can't fucking see because they're tall as fuck, and I'm just pissed off. Yes, I'm not smiling. You are correct. And he was like, oh, well, you gotta smile. Like, I gotta, if I see you not smiling, I have to go up there and tell the artist that you're not having a good time, and then it's gonna be a problem. Da 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 da. I was like, oh, haha. Whatever. And then he had like walked away and then ended up coming back and then said something about like me not smiling again or not enjoying myself. I was like, no, it's like good. It's just I can't see. Like I don't know. He was like, oh well, you should have said that the first time because like I didn't mention anything about not being able to see. I think the first time I was like, yeah, I'm having fun, like just to get him to leave me be basically. And then the second time when he had come up to me, I was like, I can't see. These people are fucking dancing in my face, jumping up and down, acting a fucking fool, and I'm over it. I'm tired. I'm done. And he was like, oh, well, you should have said something. I could have put you in the front a long time ago. I said, oh, okay. And he was like, you want me to put you in the front now? I was like, yeah. So he went up there and found me a spot at the barricade and was like, yeah, go ahead and stand here. He was like, the angle might be a little bit awkward, but like you can stand up here. And literally like took me up there, escorted me to the front. That shit is wild. That whole night was definitely an experience because I was also, there was one time where I was at that same concert. I was trying to park, right, and they be getting the out of people here and with Atlanta parking, and so I pulled into this parking lot and the guy pissed me off. I was like, oh, do you have any spots left? Because the lot looked full, and he was like, yeah, and I drove around, there were no spots left, and he was like, $20. I said, get out of my face with that. I was like, there was no spots. That's why I'm back at the front. And I was like, didn't you say there were spots left? And he was like, oh, well, you can go across the street. Mind you, it's a one-way, and it's like 4 lanes. He wants me to cross the one-way street, 4-lane thing to get to the parking garage across the street to pay him $20. I was like, what? So I'm sitting there thinking about how I'm going to go about doing this. And then this homeless guy had ended up coming up to me, and he was like, oh, are you trying to park or whatever? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, why don't you just go over there? And like pointed like across the street, like on another street. And he was like, that's like $8 parking. And I was like, oh. And he was like, here, I'll hold your spot for you. And granted, I don't think this was necessarily just pretty privilege, probably because I'm a girl and he thought he could get something out of me, which whatever. But he was like, I'll go hold the spot for you. I was like, okay. So then he went over there and stood in the spot for me. And then like I parked. And then it was funny because like he typed in my license plate and everything for the little meter. And he was like, here's your ticket. And he was like, just put your card in and it's $8. I was like, you must work here. I don't know. You must work here. But he was nice. And so then he was like, he had said something. He was like, yeah, I have a job interview. Like there's a Salvation Army. Do you think I can get $5? Like whatever the fuck. So I was like, you know what? Sure. And so then I gave him some money, whatever. And then he was like, here, let me walk you. And he walked me to the concert. He was like, I got to make sure you get there safe. I was like, now if I come back and you're sleeping in my fucking car, I'm gonna be pissed. if I come back and you're anywhere near my shits, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, I'm going to be hot. But he wasn't. But he was super nice, walked me to the concert. I thought that shit was funny. But that was another scenario where I was like, you know what? Let me just take advantage of this, I guess.
Yeah, I can't think of any scenarios like that. But you know what? Women aren't necessarily in those positions. And then even if they were, like if a female security guard was in a position to get me up front, I think she'd be worried that, they would be worried that, that was giving the wrong message, I'm sure. Unless that was the message they were trying to give, is watch the concert, then watch me next. I don't know.
Watch the concert, then watch me next is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. And then the one time that I told you about the air fryer.
Yeah.
Granted, that was a gay guy, but I think it's still pretty privileged because he was like, you know what? Like, I like you a little bit. But also, I was nice to him because I really could have thrown a fit about it. Like, I really could have, like, acted a fucking fool about that damn air fryer because basically went to Target because it said that they had this air fryer that I was looking at because there was a deal going on. It was like I don't even know what it was. It was whatever size I have. No. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
There was some kind of deal going on. Like, it was like a really big thing where like the air fryer was like $30. Like the one that I was looking at was like $30. And it was, I think the one that I wanted was an automatic one, like an electric automatic, like digital one. And so then the only one of that size that they had that I was looking at for that price was like the manual one or something like that. So then like when I was looking for it, I was like, okay, I don't see it. So I had to go up to this guy and I was like, hey, it says you guys have him in this aisle. I'm not seeing him. He goes up, he looks, he was like, oh, isn't it this one? I was like, no, it's a digital one, whatever. And then he was like, oh, let me go check the back. He checks the back. He was like, yeah, weird. He basically said that like their shipment was like off or something like that day. Like somebody didn't put in the shipment right, something. He was like, I'm just gonna give you this one for the same price as the one that you were looking at, because the one that I originally was gonna get was like $100. The one that I got was like $100 when it was supposed to be like $30. So he only charged me like $30, and I was like, just made my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me just
there was a time
checking my little boxes.
Yeah, there was a time, but when we went doing it though, it wasn't pretty privileged because a lot of times it was just a homie hookup. We just knew people at different spots that could provide different things, so it was something like that. But in your scenario where it's just random and it just happens to be, I don't know that I have too many like that. I'd be curious to know if that's a guy girl thing. Maybe I'm just not attractive, and I need to stop talking about ugly people.
Shit, yeah, karma's a bitch, Dad.
Tooth just fall out. What? Oh God.
And then, like I said, my sugar daddy,
Oh hell.
him. I seen him today too across the street again, but I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he was like walking around and shit, and I was hoping he was gonna come in and give me another 20, but he didn't. So hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed.
Yeah. They realize you have a father, right? It's already. I already got to come bite some little boy.
No. No, you don't. Leave the boy alone. Leave him alone.
Kind of. I
don't want to be disappointed.
I was gonna be like, I don't want to be disappointed. I kind of feel like I kind of have to bite him at this point.
You already barked at him. I don't know. You already barked and growled through the podcast, so I don't think you need to come and bite him or nothing. I think he's had enough, actually. He doesn't even know yet that you've done these things. But I think he's had enough. I think that he's reached his limit. Matter of fact, fuck him. I've reached my limit already. I've had enough. Me personally, that was the cap. That was the cap right there. That was, yeah.
That's funny shit.
That was that right there. You know what I forgot to tell you yesterday?
Oh,
that
hell.
I just think is so funny. Okay, so you know what? I actually don't know if I can wait. Ooh, can I talk about that? Never mind. I'll tell you later because I guess I don't know actually if I can talk about that. Like, it's not really.
Okay, moving on.
It's not bad. It's just like not my business. Even though it went viral. Well, it went viral though. So like, okay, so I'm gonna talk about it anyways. So, so remember how I was saying like how we were talking about last episode, like the connections and like the way that you meet people and like whatever.
Right.
So, the what did I go to yesterday? Not connections.
A meet and greet. Was it a meet and greet?
What's it? Networking, like a networking event, whatever. So I went to that event, right? And the girl that we went for, her ex was there, right? And they're both lawyers. And I don't know if you've seen this, but I just think that it's very, very funny. So I guess so did you see the YSL case?
Yeah, well,
Did you hear about the lawyer that was like, that's cap to the judge?
Yeah.
That was him.
Oh.
So I met him yesterday, too. That's just so, like, just such a small world. You know, I met a Bad Boys 4 producer, director. I've met That's Cap, the lawyer. Just such a small world, Dad. Such a small world. I don't know. Especially being in Atlanta. It's crazy. We need to get you out here. Need to get you to meet T.I. and Tyler Perry.
I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not doing the Madea thing.
No.
I help him write, though. He could use some help on the writing side, I'm sure.
Damn, you're talking bad about Tyler Perry's writing or what?
No, I'm just saying. I'm a comedian. I could help him spice it up a little. Give us some pow. Zip. Bang. Just saying. TP, look me up. Be out there.
TP, look me up. Yeah.
You like
about that, I don't know. And then, like, another person, you know, I've met, I think I told you about her, Natalie, I can't remember what her last name is, but the girl from Fast and Furious. Did you watch any of the more recent Fast and Furious movies?
I don't know when I dropped out. Oh. Maybe 8.
Okay, so you have. She's the mixed girl that dates Ludacris.
Okay.
She comes into my job, so I've met her too, which is kind of crazy. And then I also told you, I don't remember his name either, but Clueless, the guy from Clueless, met him as well.
Faison? Not Faison. Is it Faison? The one that was in Scrubs as well?
Yes. He's super cool.
I think he's hilarious. I've never met him, but I think he's hilarious.
He actually stopped coming in. I haven't seen him in a minute now that I think about it.
Maybe he's on a project.
Yeah. August Alsina.
Still?
He stopped coming out actually after he came out, which is crazy to me. I don't know. But yeah, him and his boo, whatever. Oh. Yeah, I can hear that. The beep.
Hear what?
You didn't hear the beep?
No.
Oh, you really can't hear anything through those headphones?
I guess not.
Because I can hear everything.
I don't hear nothing.
Someone honked outside. But it's also funny though that I had met August Alsina and didn't even know who he was. Oops, poor guy.
That's probably happened more than you know.
Yeah. Cause I knew his name, like when people were saying his name, I knew his name, but I didn't know his face. Like I had no idea what he looked like previous to that whole drama thing. Who else have I seen? I don't know, but Mariah met Anthony Mackie. She didn't like him very much. She said he was rude, which kind of disappoints me.
It might have been her. She might have been using her pretty privilege wrong.
Please don't tell her that.
On my way to the home, that's what I'm going to yell out to her.
On the way to the damn retirement home.
You don't know how to use a pretty privilege.
I was gonna say we've used it as a collective, as a group a couple times too, especially to get into the clubs.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Yep, but that's also with the charm thing, because I mean, me, you know, I've got my little, you know, so I can get into any club regardless. But our friend Destiny, she doesn't have one. She's not 21 yet. So she, like, we had gone up and we had given him like her real ID, because she was like, maybe, just maybe he'll be dumb and like not know how to do the years or whatever. And he wasn't. And he looked at her and he was like, what?
Because that's what they're trained on. They're actually trained on doing the years.
But she has she's a different state ID. So she said sometimes they can't tell where her birthday's at and something else. I don't know. She had a whole reason for it. But
yeah, they send a book out. We have a book that shows all the states' IDs and the formats and what to look for. I'm sure they have access to that as well.
You have.
But anyways, at work.
Wow.
For when people want to open accounts, you can't just let them use any old funky ID.
Right. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, so like she'd given him like the real ID, and he was like, "Oh, I charge like, because I think the pay to get into the club is like 20." And then he was like, he was like, "Oh, I charge I think he said 60. I think originally he said he charges 60 for no ID. Yeah, he was like, he was like, "Oh, I charge 60 for no ID," and like slipped her ID back, and then she was like, 60? The fuck are you talking about? So then we started going back and forth, like making jokes or whatever, and then he ended up lowering it down to 40. So granted, it wasn't free, which is still unfortunate, but you know, we really used our charm and our charisma.
Yeah, I would have had to talk him down on that shit too, or walk away. That's some bullshit.
Dad, you know Riz. Like, you heard that term?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Riz you up. Did you know that Riz was short for charisma?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, now you know. Because that really caught me off guard. I was very surprised when I heard about that. Do you also know that emo was short for emotional?
No, but it makes a lot of sense now.
Really? Because I didn't think that it did, actually.
Oh,
I didn't believe it. Because when I think emo music, I think, like, opposite of emotional. Like I think like, well, granted I don't listen to emo music and I don't know what the words are saying ever, but like when I think emo in my head, I think like all black, like punk rock, like, you know. Yeah. And like the screaming, I guess screaming is emotional, but like I don't know, just something about it just wasn't really screaming emotional to me. But my coworkers all made fun of me because they were like, "Yeah, you're such a baby because you didn't know that." And I was like, "Well, I don't listen to that music, so I would not know." They were like, "You know, we all went through an emo phase." I was like, "Yeah, can't relate."
That is a Caucasian thing.
Yeah, you are correct. They were all except for Taylor, I think. Taylor, if you're listening to this.
What is Taylor other than confused?
Taylor's black and white. Same.
Yeah. It's a white thing. He just embraced the white side is what it is. Or she. I'm sorry if you're female or male.
Fucking Dad, bro. You're gonna get us canceled. Gonna get us canceled out in the streets. Can't have shit.
I said sorry. Sorry, Taylor. You know the guys and girls of the gays, they love it.
Ooh, girls and the gays and the gays. Girls and the gays and the gays, yeah.
I have yet to get that right in how many years?
I thought you were doing it on purpose, actually.
Yeah, I quit trying a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It's like your boyfriend's names. Stop trying. I was
gonna say, are you gonna remember this one? I don't know that you can figure something out that starts with a Y. Some names.
Oh, yes, I can. But I really appreciate the last name, so
you'll let it slide.
Yeah, he's good there actually.
Oh, okay. The last name is what did it for you?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
What is that? What is that popping noise? What are you doing?
Oh, so you can hear that, but you can't hear the car.
Yeah, I said, what are you doing?
I was fiddling with something with my feet. I'll stop, but.
Yeah. You got that big ass mic picking up everything over there.
Really? Because when I was irritated because when I was editing the last episode, I guess I just got to figure out how to work this like format because it was giving me a headache, and for whatever reason my sound didn't really sound too good until I pulled it from this and put it into my other little editing thing that I normally do the sound with. But now I can't fucking line it up to sync it, and because I guess you popped in like 2 seconds after I did. It's just giving me a headache right now, and I gotta figure out how to work it and how to edit the audio and whatever. But yeah. And then you know what else happened to me today? So I was at work, right? And there's this guy who comes in to my job, and he's come in like for a little while, and he stopped coming in for a minute. But I feel bad. Well, yeah, I feel bad because one of my coworkers was like. For some odd, random, no rhyme or reason, my coworkers seem to have a problem with everybody I don't have a problem with, and maybe it's just because I'm nice, maybe it's because I'm chill, maybe I don't take the job as serious. I don't know what is going on, but everybody is super not super nice to me. I'm not gonna say that, but like I just don't have a problem with the people that they have a problem with. So he, like, this guy, he comes in, and every single time that he comes in and I'm anywhere, he comes up and talks to me. He, like, granted, he's older. He comes up and talks to me. He tells me how pretty I am. Like, he compares me to Gugu. Do you know the actress Gugu? I don't know. He says that I look exactly like her. I don't really know. Let me look her up, matter of fact.
Yeah, for real. Is that even a person? Gugu, I never heard that.
Gugu act. Oh, her.
Gugu Gaga?
Oh, no. Gugu Mbatha. Can you see her?
I'm looking her up now. Huh. What's she been in?
She was in one show that I watched on HBO, which was actually really good. I highly recommend it if you didn't watch it.
It's just the hair, then. It can't be the face. I don't see it.
Yeah, she's in the new Beauty and the Beast, Beyond the Lights, Belle, and then the girl before is the show. Oh, she was in Loki.
Yeah.
She was the bad guy or whatever in Loki, the one who dated the white guy.
Yeah.
The black girl. Yeah, that's her. Okay, I forgot that she was in that actually. But the girl before, she was really, really good in. So if you haven't watched, it's like 4 episodes on HBO. Because I know how you don't finish your shows, so I feel like it's pretty easy for you to finish.
I just finished the She-Hulk. I told you that.
That's it though. Wasn't there something else after that you have to finish?
What's after that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe nothing after that. But there's other shows that you need to watch, and you haven't watched them. So.
Yeah, I never did finish that. What was that? 16 Ways to Die? 13 Ways to Die? Something to
13,
die?
13 Reasons Why.
There we go.
Dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die.
Now who's getting us canceled?
Damn. Yeah, you're right, huh? Well, it is what it is. But speaking of canceled, I was talking because we got our first hater. Yeah, on the podcast. Remember?
Oh, has he posted again, or just the one time you showed me?
No, just the one time. But
Okay.
I thought it was funny because back to my original story. So the guy who comes in and tells me that I'm pretty all the time, blah blah blah, whatever. He comes up to the register today while I'm taking his order, and my other coworker's standing around me, and he was like, "Yeah, guys," he was like, "I'm like the embarrassing dad. I just have to talk about her just for a second." And he was like, "She's so beautiful, like, you know, she looks just like this girl, da 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 da, whatever." He's just talking. I'm like, "Ha yeah." What do you want to drink? Like whatever. But he like after my coworkers had walked away, he was talking to me. He was like, "Yeah," he was like, "It must just be hard, like being so beautiful, huh?" He was like, "Cause you're like this amount of pretty and this amount of beautiful and this amount of nice, so you must have a lot of haters." He was like, "People must hate you, like really, really hate you." And I was like, "You know what? You're onto something. You're onto something for sure, 100%." And he was like, "Yeah, I just can't. Like your life just must be so hard." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's work in progress, I guess. I don't know." I don't know. And then he was like, what else did he say to me? He was like, "Yeah, you got I know you got a lot of haters." And I was like, "Yep, but with haters comes fans." And that's exactly what I told you when we got our first hater on the podcast. But I just thought it was funny. It was given very much full circle. You know? It was given full circle moment. But yeah.
Well, I'll give it to you. You definitely know how the game is played more so than I do. I still don't even get all the damn hashtags and shit. I just want to post shit.
I know, and I gotta stop you every time you do it because you don't do it right. Damn.
Stop picking on me.
If I'm not gonna pick on you, who will?
No one. I'm usually intimidating most people.
Can't relate. Well, no, I've actually been told that I'm mean. Maybe that's why I don't have a problem with the people that other people have a problem with, because I'm mean. Ooh.
You know what?
Huh.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because it's the same for me though, and I really do say whatever. I do think it has to do somewhat to like being charming and being personable, because there's several people that call into the job on a regular basis, and people will see that name and be like, "Oh my God, it's blah 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 again, blah blah blah." But when I get them, I don't have a problem with them. They usually are fine. They don't, you know what I mean? They're not the version that everybody else gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have a problem like with the people, because I guess my coworker doesn't really like this guy because I guess something about like basically just saying that he's a creep, which like I guess I could understand maybe depending on like whatever, but he just doesn't bother me. Maybe it's because I'm not scared of him. Like I don't really know. But she's like, yeah, he's a creep. He did this, I don't know. I don't even remember, but I just try to ignore it. But there's this other guy that like really just comes to my attention, and I think this shit is so funny to me every time I think about it. So there's this homeless guy who comes into my job. Get off your phone.
It's like I'm in a meeting or something. Sorry.
You're not paying attention to me when I speak.
There's this homeless guy comes into my job.
In one ear and out the other. Damn. But there's this homeless guy who comes into my job all the time, and like he's not allowed in there. I guess he's been like he's.
Is this the same one that locked himself in the bathroom?
Locked himself in the bathroom. No.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever gotten far enough in the far enough to get to the bathroom. No.
Go ahead.
But he's threatened a couple of my coworkers, whatever, right? He's never done that shit to me. It's never been a problem with me. Like, for a while, I thought maybe he didn't like white people, but he's rude to my other manager who's black, but my other manager is rude too. So I don't really like, so maybe it's just like a rude thing, or like maybe he can sense fear because everybody else is scared of him too, and I don't really have a problem. Like it's not that deep. Like I don't know. So one of my coworkers had said something about him pushing her. And it was this big thing, whatever. He's not allowed in the store, whatever. But he knows that every single time that he comes in, they send me over there to kick him out because he really only listens to me. I don't know what it is. Like every time I go up to him, I'm like, hey, yo, like I really don't want to have to waste my time calling. I don't want to have to waste your time calling the police. Like just go ahead and head out. He heads out. Like it's never nothing serious. And he comes in the other day. And they send me down there, so I go down there and I take all the stuff away from him because one thing about him is he loves to steal straws. I don't know what he does with them, but he takes at least a bundle every time he comes in. I don't know, and it's crazy because he still has them all. They're in the side of his backpack. I see them every time he comes in, so I don't know what the point is, but I leave him be. I don't really care. So he comes in. And, he goes to take the straws, whatever. But I take everything away from him. I put him behind the counter, and I'm standing in front of him. And I was like, hey, buddy, like, you gotta go. And he was like, he looks at me, he goes, and maybe this was just, like, one of the more conscious days of his. Because there are times where I could hear him talking, but I can't understand what he's saying because he's, like, mumbling and shit. And I just, like, I don't know what he's talking about. But he was like, he goes, so you got a bagel for me? I said, bagel? I was like, that is the first thing that I've ever heard come out of your mouth before. Like, actually, like, audible. I was like, I said, his name's Rico. I said, Rico, did you pay for a bagel? He goes, no. I said, so why the fuck would I have a bagel for you, Rico? And he was like, no, but you got those straws, though. I said, not for you. He said, you don't got 2 straws for me? I said, no, you got a whole backpack full of straws. I could see them in the side of it, out of the side of your backpack. Go ahead and head out for me. And he was like, whatever, because I could see the straws behind you, and walked out. I was like, you know what? Next time you come in, I'm giving you a fucking bagel. You know what? Just for that. I'm not kicking you out. You can sit in here and enjoy your meal because what the fuck? Talking about
That's pretty good.
I was crying. I went in the back and I was like, y'all, next time he comes in, don't kick him out, please. I'm begging, because we got to give this man a bagel or something. Because that was crazy. I was like, he really has jokes today. He really got jokes today. Like, damn, that shit had me cracking up. I was like,
that's funny.
Because he's never spoken real words that I could understand before. Like, it's always just been like, hey, man, I'm not gonna ask you again. Go ahead and bye, like whatever. And it never caused a problem. And granted, this time it wasn't a problem either, but I thought it was funny that he had jokes all of a sudden. I was like, oh, now you want to talk. Now you want to talk. You asked me if I got a bagel for you. I was like, Rico, please be so fucking for real. Don't piss me off today. Like, do you got a bagel for me? No, Rico, I don't have a bagel for you. But that shit was funny.
That is funny. So did that count as pretty privileged, the fact that he listens to you?
I don't know if it's pretty privilege or if it's like because I talk to him like he's a normal human being. Like maybe it's like the whole meeting halfway thing. Because like I said, everybody seems to be scared of him. And a lot of the time like they do that with like all the other homeless people who come in. And like they're very like, I feel like a lot of them listen to this podcast. So if you guys are listening, maybe change your ways a little bit. But basically, they're very like immediately like fight or flight, like, you know, type thing. And I'm just like, y'all need to chill out for a second. Like, let him do something wrong before we go in like full on attack mode. And so like they're very like, a lot of them are very, very quick to be like, no, you have to get out. No, no, you can't be in here. No. And I'm just like, okay, chill out. They're not gonna listen to that. Now they're gonna scream and cuss you out, and then you're gonna go cry because they called you a bitch. Like, I would call you a bitch too. Like, I think you full well deserved what the fuck they just did to you personally. Because that's why I was like, I don't ever have a problem with any of these people, but it's like, and it's like that with customers too. Like, even if like, I don't know. I just think that they, like, a lot of people know that I'm not the one to mess with, and I don't know if it's like a vibe that I give off. Cause like that's like, I guess I could also say the same thing about like, maybe it's not even just pretty privilege, but it's like people just tend to naturally gravitate towards me, and I really just genuinely don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's a vibe I give off. Same reason on why people don't fuck with me for real. Like, I don't really know what it is, but like people don't mess with me. But then there are also a lot of people who tend to gravitate towards me and think that we could be friends and shit. So, but yeah, like they're very much like just hella scared. And like the first time that I went up and asked them to leave, I was like, hey, I don't want to have to call. Don't make me call. Don't make me take my phone out because I'm going to get pissed off. Go ahead and head out before I got to take my phone out. I was like, because I really don't want to have to call the police on you. That's the last thing I want to do right now. I'm just trying to work. And he was like, okay. And he left. Like, and it takes that every single time. Like, it's just like a conversation. And like, he's never threatened me, at least not that I know of. Like maybe under his breath or something. But shit, he's never done anything. And I've been in very close proximity with him, and he's done other things to my other coworkers. So never been a problem for me. Like, I don't know. He doesn't bother me. But also I don't really like he doesn't really disturb anybody, and it's like they freak out over the littlest shit, like the fucking straws. I'm like, they're not your straws. You didn't buy them. So what does it matter if he takes some straws? This is a multi-billion-dollar company, and you're mad over 3 straws? Let the man take the straws. Like, what else are you gonna take from him? He's homeless. His backpack smells like piss, and you're not gonna let him take a fucking straw? Damn.
He might want to build a house, and he needs
That's
enough
what I
straws to do
said.
it.
Maybe the big bad wolf blew his house down. Fuck, he needs something. Damn. But yeah, don't ever have a problem with him. And then like same thing with customers. Like, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people I think know not to fuck with me. And then the ones who do fuck with me, I feel like very quickly realize that I was not the one to play with. Because once they do it once and they realize it, they don't do it again. So
testing you of some sort.
Yeah, like just testing the limits on how far they can go. I don't know. But then a bunch of people gravitate towards me and tend to think that we're friends. I don't know.
I would sometimes pay money to know what people from the outside looking in actually see, because there's people that have been terrified of me, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You know, if I seen me and thought I was trying to get bad, I'd beat my ass. Who the fuck this little motherfucker think he is?
Right, like let's try it.
Right. So I don't know why other people would be intimidated, but they are. Maybe that's the version of pretty privilege that men have if they're, well, man, maybe that's a black man thing. I don't know. But when they're spooky and scary, that if you show that you're actually nice, they're like, oh wow, okay, oh he's cool, here, like me, here, give me stuff, like me,
hear me, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me that it's just a black person thing in general, because you know, like there's like the whole stereotype of like angry black women and angry black men, whatever. And I guess that could go hand in hand in what we were talking about in the racist episode, where we were talking about how, like, you know, people tend to think that we're like a whole different breed of human just because of the fact that we're black.
Yeah.
So maybe it goes with that. I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be the best you ever seen. Okay.
No.
Work on it some more.
Yeah. And then, like, what was I gonna say?
I don't know, but it was gonna be great.
Was it? Was it, Dad? I don't know. Was it gonna be great?
Why you want to call me out?
Just because the accent was, was killing me a little bit.
Because that's just fake news. It's fake news.
Speaking of fake news, there was a car accident over by my apartment yesterday. And it was so crazy that they had the road blocked off for like 6 hours. Because it took me like 30 minutes to get home. And normally it's like a 12-minute drive home. Because I had to go around and take a different exit and whatever. But it was so big that the news was out. So if you've seen anything on Fox about a car accident over by my apartments, it was crazy. I watched them take the car out of the ditch. That was wild.
In all honesty, just from the couple times I've been down there, I don't know why there's not more of those stories.
I don't know if it's because everybody's equally as crazy. So like I feel like they're just really good at being crazy. Like
it's just like a mutual crazy. Everybody's the same crazy.
For the most part. Like, I feel like everybody is the same amount of crazy when it comes to driving. So, and because they've mastered it, it's easy to be crazy, Like, they're able to do those crazy-ass dips and tricks and shit and dodge between the cars and whatever else. Like, they're in a movie.
Public service announcement for y'all out in Atlanta. That side of the lane that's right next to the damn wall, that's for like if you break down. That's not to drive in. That's
the amount of people that drive in that, Dad, and go around like it's a separate lane.
Yeah.
Well, there's not room for that.
It's not a lane. Fucking God, it's not a lane. I swear it's not.
When someone went underneath the semi truck in front of us that one time, was that in Washington or was that in Atlanta?
I was in Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the drivers are crazy out here. And I swear time is not real because sometimes the math really do not be mathing on my Google Maps. Because why did it take me 20 minutes to go 6 miles the other day? That doesn't make no damn sense. If I'm going 35 miles an hour, how did it take me 20 minutes to get here?
Did a lot of standing still.
Shit just pisses me off. That's the one thing that I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like the driving just keeps me from doing a lot of things. 'Cause I just get irritated. Like granted now, go ahead.
I was gonna say if I was there, I told you I'd be a one-way driver. I can get you there, or I can get you back. I'm not doing both.
Yeah, because I'm just like the driving is just crazy, and it just such a long. Sorry. Such a long commute for no reason. Just it annoys
But everything
me.
feels really spaced out there. I don't know if it's for sure, but it feels that way.
Yeah, it's just make me sick.
Anywho, that has probably nothing to do with pretty privilege at all.
No, it doesn't, because obviously the people at the car dealership didn't think I was pretty enough to give me a free car, so instead they scammed me out my money.
There's where it went astray. There's one time it didn't work out for you.
I was gonna say also though, maybe that's the bad side of pretty privilege. What?
What?
Pretty privilege, because I feel like some people just really be thinking that they can fuck me over. Because they probably think I'm an idiot. Granted, some may work like the car dealership. They still got the money out of me at the end of the day. But
I bet you they won't get you again.
You said they will get me again?
I bet you they won't get you again.
Oh. Yeah, no. I know better now. Yeah, my car lights are still on. I don't know what to do about that.
Well, I wasn't planning on coming down until homecoming, but if you want me to come down earlier
to get the car fixed. It's not even broken for real, but yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but the bad side of it, because they really it's a blessing and a curse, because they really just be trying to get you. Like the car dealership, the guy at the club who gave me the 15 shots, I know he was trying to get some shit out of me, even though I may have been blackout, but I was still conscious enough to know better. And also I had good people with me, so it's just you was really trying it.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dad. I feel like I had so much more to talk about, and I swear I wrote down what I wanted to talk about too, and I literally could not find it before we got on this episode, and it actually kind of pissed me off. But
I thought we talked about quite a bit.
We did, but I feel like there was more to it that I wanted to like specify on. And it sucks because I know that after we get off of the podcast, I'm going to think of all the things that I wanted to say. Because that's what I did last night after we got off the podcast, of like all the things that I want to talk about in the last episode. And then it's funny because now that we're here and I could potentially talk about it, I don't know what I was thinking. So,
if you jot it down after the episode, we can always cover it again, and you can edit some stuff and combine them and whatnot.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of work, you know.
I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. You're correct. Yeah, I forgot. You know, I do everything around here.
Yeah. Couldn't you just fade it out and fade the other one in? No?
That's so ghetto. That's so ghetto. That would be, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that.
Okay. All right. There was my contribution.
Yeah. A for effort, I guess. Oh, yeah. Did you talk to Nate about us getting a podcast studio?
No. I reached out to him, though, about possibly a benefit comedy show, because my job is talking about doing that in conjunction with the American Cancer Society. Mm-hmm. So if we could use his spot for that.
Period.
Would be I don't know, it'd be kind of a big deal because they would advertise to American Cancer Society, which all the people that they reach and whatnot. So I haven't heard back.
I was gonna say that's like a national thing, isn't it? Like, period.
They would probably do it locally, though. I mean, it'd be like between Pierce and King County,
right? Which
is probably like 10,000 people that they would reach out to.
Period.
Yeah. So, I mean, it almost guarantees a sold-out show, right? You would think. So, it's just a matter of if he's going to charge us and how much, or if he'll donate it so that he can write it off on taxes. Or,
right. Business.
Or if he's even interested. It might be something he's not even interested in. Like, I don't even want my name tied to that. Who knows?
Who knows? Can you imagine being like, no to cancer? That's crazy to me. But whatever. Okay, well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Could be a big deal. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. I think. You got anything else?
No, I don't got nothing else.
Oh. We need to start planning our episodes for our live shows. Our live podcast filmings. Not shows. Not yet.
Yes, ma'am.
We need a couple more episodes on here before we do our live recordings. So think of those two, okay?
Got it.
Because I can't do everything around here, Dad.
I don't know. You've been knocking it out the park so far.
A bitch is tired.
A bitch is young. Shit.
A bitch is ready to retire.
Oh, hell.
I know. I'm so young. Ugh. I'm so sick to my stomach.
Ugh. I'm sick to your stomach, too.
Yeah. I just... So much energy. Sometimes it just tires me out thinking about it. Like when I went to the club the other weekend, I was out at the club until 5:30 a.m. sharp, and I clocked in for work at 6:15 a.m. sharp.
You probably still smelled like liquor.
No, I didn't even drink.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't even drink. It just makes me sick. Did I tell you I'm a vodka person now? Did I tell you I determined that?
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, I think I can't do tequila anymore, guys. Tequila got to go in the trash. I think it's vodka now because I had a mojito. Actually, I had a couple mojitos one night, and I was like, yeah, these are really good. And then the other day, I had some lemon drops. I had a raspberry lemon drop, and then I had a mango lemon drop.
Yeah, those lemon drops will get you in trouble.
I chugged the mango one too. It was
yeah, don't do it.
Cause my friends were trying to get me to dance. My friends were trying to get me to dance. I was like, give me a second. So I chugged it. It was in my hand 1 minute, and then it was gone the next. And then my friend was like, did you give the drink away to someone else? I said, no, I drank it, the whole thing. But yeah,
play with those lemon drops.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Butt naked on the freeway.
They're really good. I might can fuck with a lemon drop. And I knew I liked lemon drops from when I was in Mexico, because that was I think it was actually the first drink that I had was a lemon drop. But no, I don't know. These ones were really, really good that I had. So yeah, I think vodka is the new wave for me, because I can't do tequila unless it's in like a actual official mixed drink. Because the mixed drinks that they be throwing together at the lounges are not it. And like tequila just has such a strong taste that it doesn't matter what I like. If I just were to mix it with like regular ass juice, I can't do it. Because I know there's like, you know, an art and a skill to bartending. So like obviously they mix in the things that like cancel out this flavor and this flavor, so you don't really taste it and whatever. So it needs to be like in an actual official drink, because that margarita thing that I had the other day was not bad at all. And then I ended up having his margarita because I thought his was better. It was a kiwi pineapple margarita. That was really good though, and I was able to drink it. So, but yeah, that was my update on my boy problems and my drinking chronicles. That's it.
All right, y'all, man. Hit the like and share it and all that good shit. And we'll see you next episode.
Wait.
How many times we gonna end the motherfucking episode?
No, just one more thing. I just want to throw in there that we're really inspiring people. Yeah, like we're actually like it's crazy, because like that was like the purpose or whatever, because you know people really like thrived off of our relationship, like thought it was super cool, whatever. But my manager who listens, she listened to the podcast, and she had told me that she told her husband to listen because she has a daughter, and she said that she thinks and she wants me and your relationship to be like her husband and her daughter's relationship. And then she was also saying that she really wants her and her son's relationships to be like our relationship, where they can, you know, talk about like, you know, whatever they want to talk about, like they feel comfortable coming to her when they want to do shrooms and whatever else we have talked about. And she was like, I really want that. And so maybe that's what we talk about like on the next episode, is how we kind of got there, even though I honestly don't really know how we got there. Like I was sitting there trying to explain it to her, and I was like, you know what, I actually don't have an answer for you. I have no idea. So maybe something we think about. I don't know, because I really don't have an answer. I don't.
I have some ideas.
I would say you probably have a better idea than I do, because it just kind of happened for me. I don't know.
There's a lot of little things I've done behind the scenes where you're like, oh, what? That's what that was about. So
yeah. So maybe we talk about that in an episode. But yeah, I just thought that was cool, you know, inspiring people, you know, inspiring the collective. Especially my manager and her husband and her kids being black. I thought that was cool too. I don't know. You know. Period.
Forever.
Oh. Okay, now I'm done. For real this time.
Whatever, man. I'm not saying shit. Go ahead and end this motherfucker, boy.
That's it. Bye.
Peace out.
Sauerkraut.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Fricken Dad podcast.
Don't forget to save and rate and do whatever else it is that you do with podcasts. Tune in every Wednesday for our new episodes.
Follow us on our personal social medias for updates. They will be in the description. Follow me at I Crack Myself Up on Instagram to follow me on my comedy journey.
And me at It's Bellaboo with 2 A's on Instagram to follow me through the rest of my journey.
Again, tune in every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And this is the Fricken Dad Podcast.